Hi, welcome to New Jersey Wedding Podcast. Thanks so much for joining us today. We are your hosts, Andrea Pertel and Celia Milton, and we are both professional wedding officiants here in the state of New Jersey. We have both been in business professionally, full time, for officiating weddings for 14 years or more. I've been
Oh,
14, Celia's longer than
and I'm
myself.
I'm the and more.
um, and it's been so great. What a great ride so far, right? I can't believe how time flies, how long
I
we've
know.
both been doing this.
I know. I did a vow renewal for somebody I married. Oh my gosh, 14 years ago.
Yeah.
And
How
it was like a vow renewal. They're not always like even years. Sometimes they're just, because maybe they've gone through some kind of like life thing together and
Yes,
and
exactly.
or sometimes they just feel like what the hell, And
Right. They're going to be vacationing, the family's going to be with
right, right.
let's celebrate
Like
because
14 years. Yeah,
it's
it's like I think the scariest one was I did a couple years ago. I think that was 11 years ago, and they had a little girl who was I think 2 or 3, like the absolute cutest thing ever. She has like bright red curly hair. She's like so cute. And I met them at a wedding that I did last summer, and the kid's enormous. She's like an adult. She's like 6 feet tall. She's like, "Oh, do you remember her?" It's like, "What? What happened?"
That's that's great. Next weekend, I'm doing a baby blessing out in
Uh-huh.
Hazlet, and I did their daughters. I had the honor to do their daughters' baby blessing, like
Oh no.
5 years ago. And sometimes you've done their wedding even before that and stuff. And it's always funny when you go and the child is older. They're like they're not
I,
even toddlers. They're running
I know.
around. They're older, and the parents will be like, "She did your blessing too." Do you remember? And the kid always looks at you like, "Stay
What?
away from me."
I don't remember that. No. Didn't you do the baptism with the water pistol? Wasn't that you? Wouldn't you love
But
that as super soaker? I think that'd be hilarious, but
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
just me.
Yeah, I remember something like that. There were jokes about that when during COVID. But during COVID, we did outdoor ones, and I stood far
Yeah.
apart. The
Yeah.
and I let the parents sprinkle the water on the baby,
Yeah. I
during
usually
that
do that
time,
too.
because and that's kind of a beautiful thing too, to for them to be involved that way. I don't have to be the one that sprinkles the water.
No.
The celebrant, the minister doesn't need to be the one to do
No,
it.
I don't need the one to hold the baby either because
No, I
they
almost
no
I know
they
I
they
never
they
hold
just
the
they
baby.
terrify me. They I mean they're adorable, but it's like what if I drop it? That would be really bad. That would be bad for everybody.
Yeah, yeah. But this week has been what a beautiful
Oh, it's been so
spring
yep.
week we've had, or couple of weeks. The
Yeah.
rain has finally disappeared,
Yeah.
and I have been busy with a lot of elopements. Springtime is another busy time. Elopements are busy year round, but something about
Yeah.
spring and also end of the year. But I have a local park. I know you have some beautiful parks by
Hmm.
you, but I have the beaches and I have the parks. And right now, the cherry blossoms,
Oh, I
the
know.
dogwoods out in the park that I use are beautiful. It
It's
is a
gorgeous.
photographer's dream
Yeah. Yeah.
for wedding pictures or any pictures. Just a gorgeous time. And I'm lucky to say I have been at the park constantly the last couple of
Yeah.
weeks
It's so
with
pretty.
lots of elopements. Yeah.
We're right near Branchbrook Park too, and I know every year at this time they're going to be on all the local news in New Jersey, New York, because I think they have more varieties of cherry blossoms than any other place on the East Coast
Oh,
except
really?
possibly Washington, D.C. And
Yeah.
it's just gorgeous. It's
Yeah.
so it really is.
I love it. I
It really
love
is.
it.
And get rid of those forsythia things. Like, I don't like those at all, but I like cherry blossoms.
Yeah, just gorgeous, so pretty.
Yeah.
And where have you been? Where are
Where
your
have you
weddings
been?
taking you this weekend?
We've had a bunch. Michael's had a bunch of like home elopements, which are very sweet, and he's
Yeah.
also in. We've got Gosford Park here, and he says it's really funny because that's the same place he takes our dog for a walk, and like he'll do a wedding, and then an hour later he'll be back with in his sweatpants with the dog. It's like, oh, this is like a weird reality. It's beautiful. It's, for people who are, I have people come from, some of them from like over an hour away. It's really pretty. It's very easy to access. It's got a beautiful waterfall and, all kinds of peonies are coming out, soon. And it's just a really pretty place. But, it kind of leads us into our topic for today. It's like there's a lot of beautiful public places that you can get married. There, some of the
Mhm.
park systems, the Morris County Park System has 4 or 5 just beautiful parks with
Yeah.
plantings, and like the Frelinghuysen Arboretum has like a gazing pool and a rose garden. I mean, they're absolutely gorgeous. And some of them have fees. Some of them do not. I discovered Cross Estates I mean, I knew it was there, but I didn't realize they didn't have a fee at all. Although donations are always a good idea. But they all have rules that you have to obey the rules and just like
Right,
act like
right.
an adult. You can't have alcohol in the parks. You can't have alcohol on the beach. Um, you can't bring in furniture. It's like you can't go to Pinterest and see that somebody has a bureau with flowers on it, and you're going to drag that into Gosford Park. No, you can't do that. No, you
No,
really.
you're so right. There's so many rules. Where I am, I mean, we do have some beautiful in Ocean and Monmouth County, some
Mhm.
parks that you can get permits to as well. But then we have some beautiful town parks that are free to use. And
Yeah.
I'm going to brag a bit. I know the best free beaches, and they are the nice ones. I have some beautiful beaches that I can use. And even during the season, if we do it during certain hours after the
Right.
badge checkers leave, we can use those beaches. But, these are state rules. They're not my rules.
Yeah.
And, I don't like to be in a position to enforce them. But you're right. You cannot bring alcohol on the beach unless it is a private beachfront that you have maybe Airbnb'd or
Yeah.
somebody owns and that a hotel owns and you're doing it through them.
Mhm.
You cannot bring alcohol on the beach. Another rule is you cannot, and this has been for a long time now, maybe more than 5 years, longer. You cannot smoke cigarettes on the beach. That is
Oh,
something.
good.
um, yeah, that the beach cannot be your ashtray. It's common sense. Most of these are common sense rules.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to sit next to you with your cigarette,
Right.
or for you to use it as your garbage. Another common sense rule on the beach is um, no silk or fake flower petals. That's litter. You can't sprinkle something, even if it's in the shape of a flower petal, that's litter. Not only is it litter and bad for the environment, it kills the wildlife. We have protective turtle places, for them, and the birds. It kills them. And no, also balloons, they've been you haven't been allowed to do balloon releases for
Oh,
many
that's yeah.
years now at the beach. It is litter and it kills the animals. Sorry. And fires, well, right now we're having that bad fire, Ocean County,
Oh, right,
is
right.
in
Yeah.
flames. But here's another common sense rule: you cannot build a bonfire. You cannot release those balloons with the fire that fly up in the sky. Um, no, you can't do fire in any of these places. And there's also other rules that don't think you can break them. In fact, I was just talking to a couple who want like just 10 people on the beach, but he's
Right.
like, we're going to bring a canopy and set that up so we don't have the sun on us. Well, no.
No,
You
you
can't
can't.
do that on these free public beaches.
Yeah.
For that, you have to pay. You have to go to a private beach and pay for it. They don't allow that.
Right.
They just don't. They don't for many reasons, I guess they blow away. You don't set them up properly. Again, there's always about the turtle nesting spots. They blow away and go in the dunes and go there, and it's just simply not allowed. But there are several places that have small
Yeah.
pavilions or gazebos that are either on the beach or on the boardwalk. and there are some that are free to use, and I can
Yeah.
guide you on that. But you're not setting up a canopy on a free beach.
No, you're not. And I think, another good thing to mention too is that like permit situation. There are places that do require permits, both, beaches, mountains, parks, and there are places that do not. And usually the permits are not very expensive. I think, the one I can think of off the top of my head is like 25 bucks. Sometimes they have something called a photo permit, which is more for people with big, gigantic bridal parties who are going to come and spend an hour and a half doing pictures. Those are usually a couple $100. But I think the other thing, especially by you, is that some of these beaches require insurance, don't they? Like liability
Yes,
insurance?
Monmouth County is well known for their beaches to require liability insurance. Asbury Park, I know a lot of people want to go there, and they don't care if it is just 10 people or
Yeah,
110 people on the beach. Not only do you have to get a permit, you have to get $1 million liability insurance. And I know a million sounds crazy, but
it sounds
it's
less.
generally around
Yeah,
$250 to buy that type of
yeah,
event insurance. You can always do a 1 day rider on your homeowner's insurance,
right,
but quite
right.
frankly, most people do not like to touch their homeowners. They're going to get a separate insurance policy from an event insurance company. $250 and it covers $1 million liability.
Yeah,
So I know that there's Long Branch, Asbury Park, not all of them. I'm pretty well knowledgeable about all the beaches and what they require. And the big thing is I want couples to know this is um, this is a wedding, and don't think that, well, we're just going to be on and off real quick, and I just really want this canopy, and oh, the guys are so funny. They're bringing a cooler of beer. Just don't think it doesn't apply to you, because it could turn out
it does.
embarrassing, because they will come. That is their job. That is their revenue.
Yeah,
They will come and give you a ticket and ask you to leave. They will.
yeah, yeah. I know we're in Verona Park once in a while, and it's really pretty. It's in like near West Orange, really pretty. Historic building, beautiful, like kind of a Bow Bridge, kind of like in New York City, kind of looks like that. But I mean, if you don't have your permit on you, they will make you leave in the middle of your wedding. And you
Right.
know what? Listen, it's just common sense and it's common courtesy, uh,
Right.
to
A
other
lot of
people.
these towns are also protecting the people that live in these towns. and
Right.
and I don't want to sound like, Debbie Downer. I like a party as much as the next
Yeah.
person, but it it's our livelihood. It's my livelihood. I don't want to show up on the beach and you are breaking all the rules.
Right.
All it takes is one person that lives by that beach in that town to see this and be like, mm-mm, not going to happen. There was a wedding here. They left behind all this litter, and I'm going to the next town council meeting as a resident and telling them no more weddings on the beach. And now it's kind of been ruined, not only for everybody else who wants to have their wedding on
Yeah.
the beach. You've kind of ruined my livelihood.
Yeah. I know. I
And I
know.
don't want to be, I'm the officiant, the wedding minister. I don't want to enforce rules,
Well,
I don't
supposed
want to
to be
come out
like,
there and be like, you're
yeah.
not allowed to do that.
No, we're supposed to be kind of the authority on these things too. And when it really comes down to it, if you are now ending up with, if you have four people and you want to be on the beach, you're eloping. You have 20 people and you're thinking about bringing in furniture, you're not eloping anymore. And
Right.
most of our places do not allow that. I mean, there's plenty of places that do. We've got all the arboretums that are up by me in Morris County. You can do 20, 30 people. Some of them have beautiful buildings. And, it's just at some point, and it happens to a lot of people. It's like, we're going to elope. We have four people. And then somebody's parent usually gets wind of this thing, and now it's 25 people, and you can't do the same thing anymore.
Right.
It's just you can't try to sneak 25 people into the free park with chairs and benches and flowers and arches, and you can't do that.
Right,
Just we
right.
need to find you. We can find you something else. It's not a problem.
Yeah, there are
Plenty of
places that
places.
you can pay to get that done, but if you're
Yeah.
taking advantage of the free area, and there's nothing, how about that sinking feeling when you're standing there waiting for people to arrive and you're at the free place and it's beautiful and you've told them the rules and you've told them if they have any questions about the rules, just call the town and they'll
Yeah.
explain it to you and they'll let you know what you can and cannot do. And they're standing there and here they drive up and they have like furniture they're going to put
I know.
out and
And
they
an arch.
have
Yeah,
like
I
this
know.
and that and and you're like, oh no, 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 no.
No, it's just
Oh no.
this is not going to end well.
I'm
No,
just going to
it's not.
smile and do this real quick and be like, okay,
Be out of there, you know. So we want you to have a great, whether it's 6 people or 40 people, we want you to have a nice, smooth, relaxed day without getting arrested. That's really
right.
what it comes down to. You know
And
what?
and sometimes for me, it's not just the that you're breaking the rules. This is you're putting me in a bad position because I
Yeah,
have three more weddings this week at this same
right,
location.
right.
Um, and is when it comes to the environmental stuff,
Hmm.
the letting go of the balloons, the putting the fake,
Yeah,
the
pedals. Yeah,
confetti, the fake petals, this and that are going to hurt the environment. That hurts my heart. Like I strongly agree with those rules.
yeah,
There's
yeah,
always different stuff that you could use real petals. That's
yeah,
perfectly fine. They
yeah,
they dissipate. They're real,
yeah.
There's also a type of confetti that you can buy. Um, I know there is. I forget the name of
Yeah,
it though.
there's a biodegradable confetti. I know we've had that too, because a lot of our venues, even, like our private venues and mansions and things like that, nobody wants that stuff all over the
Right.
place. And if you're in a place that does 4 weddings a weekend, nobody has time to go vacuum up your petals. It sounds like nasty, but it's just, you don't want other people's petals at your wedding either. So,
Right. Right?
Rice, I think, doesn't
Exactly.
rice make bird explodes? We can't even do rice anymore. That's like from the 50s. Like, and
And I
bird
tell
seed.
you, if you want, yeah, birdseed was the thing. Nobody does the rice. That's because that went out of
Yeah,
favor because didn't birds choke on the rice or something? There was
I think
something bad about doing the rice.
I think they explode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I think it gets like bigger and it explodes and then
Yeah.
it's
And there are workarounds to all of these things. So just
yeah,
talk to us. I can tell you, if you want to do this, I know a great gazebo or pavilion you can get a permit for, and you can bring what you want. Certain things, more things are
yeah.
allowed at that. You can set up a canopy at certain places if you have, but you have to get the permit, and that's what allows you to do that. If you want fireworks at your beach wedding, I tell you what, and you still want to be on the free beach, every Thursday night here at the beach, there are fireworks at sunset, at dark. Let's do your elopement then, right with the fireworks in the background. I gotcha.
So funny. I think I had somebody. Oh, did I do this? Or maybe Carrie did it. So one of us was up at West Point during a time when they have like fireworks at the stadium up there. And it's like, wow, that's really good. Get married on the 4th of July. You can get married almost any place and there's going to be fireworks.
Right,
Good
right.
idea,
Yeah.
right?
Every Thursday night on Jenkinson's Beach, there's fireworks. Now, Jenkinson's Beach and Point Pleasant Beach, you're not allowed to go on there and do a wedding. That's a
Yeah.
privately owned beach.
Uh-huh.
Again, that's
Oh,
a permit and stuff like that. So, but if you're on Osborne Beach in Bay Head, the fireworks are right there, or on Manasquan Beach, right across the inlet. The fireworks are just as close and just as beautiful. That's where all the locals go. It's not so crowded.
huh.
They set up their chairs there, and you're not dealing with the traffic trying to get in and out of the town with the fireworks. Well, wouldn't that be a great place to have your elopement? It'd have to be at night, because they don't do the fireworks until it gets dark out. But that seems kind of cool and
That's true.
romantic.
Oh, interesting. Oh, there's a lot of good places you can go and things you can do, but you want to
Right.
just be, you want to be cognizant of what you're doing and the people around you and the environment and it's
Yeah.
all
And
good.
don't break the rules. If it's something you really want, talk to us. We probably have suggestions of where you can go and do it, you
Yeah.
know,
Hmm.
except for the balloon release. Nobody allows that anymore.
I didn't even think, and well, the lanterns too. Lanterns are like you can't really do that, especially when
No.
it's been this dry for this long. No.
No, where are they going
Mhm.
to land? What happens with that fire? The towns just don't put up with that, you know.
No, no, it's not a good idea. No. No, see now we've made you nice and depressed about the things you can't do. And
Oh, but there's so many things you can
yeah,
do.
there
And
are. Yeah.
actually, one of the reasons to have your ceremony at one of these beautiful parks or at the beautiful beach is you don't need to set anything up. If you're having your wedding at the beach, it's because the waves are in the
Right.
background. You want a jetty? I'll tell you what beachfront to use. It's what you don't need anything. It's there, right?
Mhm.
Same with the park. We just talked about how everything's in bloom and it just gets prettier in the summer, you know. You don't need to bring anything. That's your
No.
backdrop. And that's really budget friendly too.
Yeah, it is. It is. And it's a different kind of vibe than, planning even like a micro wedding, like a micro at a historic site. We've got plenty of parks in New Jersey that have little historic buildings. Alair Chapel is real pretty. There's deep cut
Mhm.
gardens that are a little bit closer to you. There's
Mhm.
all kinds of neat places to go. And just, I think keeping the tone of nature and, simplicity in nature, I think it really works in these places. And
Yeah,
it's legal too.
right, right. It's the beautiful garden state, and that's what's so beautiful about New Jersey is
Hmm.
we have beautiful gardens, parks, beaches, cities. It's great. We have everything.
We got everything. We
Yeah,
do.
so come on to New Jersey and get married.
That's right. And do it. Yeah, do it soon. Yeah.
Right, but follow the rules,
Mhm.
especially in the parks
Yeah.
and beaches.
Are there for the beaches, are there a different set of things going on in season and off and not in season?
Well, yes. Off season. So in season is between Memorial Day and Labor Day. And some of the beaches I use during that time, the free beaches that I use are
Huh?
available at 6 p.m. and later, which is perfect because sun doesn't set until 8:30 at night. So a 6:30 wedding on the beach when all the people have
Oh, that's so
left
nice.
and the badge checkers have left and all the day trippers have left. It is a beautiful, calm time of the evening. Um, but off season, after Labor Day, we all say local summer is September. It's still
Oh,
warm
it's
out. You
beautiful
can
in September.
you can have your wedding anytime. There are no restrictions anytime.
Oh,
It's
that's
it's
great.
fabulous. The badge checkers have gone, and yeah, it becomes really a beautiful time of year to have it. And even into October is quite beautiful on the beach. So,
Until I was doing this work, I've never been to the Jersey Shore in season.
oh
I
yeah,
We'd
yeah.
always go in
Right. Why would you?
September and October, always,
Yep.
because it's so pretty and the stoplights are flashing and a lot of the places are still open. Restaurants and things are still open, so it's not like, everybody's gone home.
Yeah. Oh no, they don't close down until I want to say um, a lot of places not until after at Christmas time, Thanksgiving or
Oh,
something
wow.
like that. But no, it's still hopping in September. But you're right, the lights are flashing. You can find a parking spot.
Right.
It's the best time of year. It's so different.
Yeah. It's really pretty down there. Great.
Yeah.
And our forests are open all the time. We've actually done I did a wedding at um Skylands Manor is in Skylands State Park, which is beautiful. We did one there on Valentine's Day a couple years ago. It
Yeah.
was really, 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 really cold. It was beautiful.
Well, the thing about the cold outdoor winter weddings are because I use a park that decorates so beautifully for Christmas with
Oh, that
lights
sounds so
all around
nice.
their bridges and the
Oh,
gazebo
nice.
and stuff. And I'm a sucker for the bride in the winter wedding dress with the faux fur
Oh, a little
wrap
furry
around
thing.
them.
Yep,
Yeah.
I like it. And you know what? There's always thermal spanks
Yeah.
underneath. Nobody needs to know, right?
Absolutely.
And it's just like where you just wear those babies and just you be okay. And electric hand warmers, you can put them. You don't have to just use them on your hands. You can use them anywhere you want.
Yeah, you can make it work. It's beautiful year round, right?
Yeah, it is. And we'll be like, whoa, I'm outside today. Yeah, great.
Yeah.
Where's the rest of my clothes? Yay.
Yeah, it gets us out, right? I never spent so much time out until I did this job,
I
so
know.
much time outdoors in the winter because people love outdoor winter weddings.
It's true. Michael did one a couple of winters ago, and he brought two of our witnesses, and they they had like a half a mile tromp into the woods around the lake, and it was snowing, and like he kept texting me. I kept saying, the pictures are going to be fabulous. He's like, just shut up.
That's what I think. So the pictures are just going to be great.
Pictures are going to be. I have one that's on all of my websites that I did up at a in a barn outside, like a barn, like not like a barn like we have here that's like a renovated like venue barn. This was just like a barn where you could like see through the panels into the outside, and they made all the cows leave so they could use the barn for this wedding. It's like the cows were all standing outside. And it was like it was a blizzard. This is quite a number of years ago. We called it Snowtober.
Oh, and the poor
Who
cows, they had to go stand in the
I
snow.
know, like who knew? And it was snowing, and we drove up, and the woman who owns the barn, it was very cute actually. The woman who owns the barn is like, "Well, you're staying over, right? Because we're having a nor'easter." It's like, "No, we can't stay over. We have a dog. What do you can't
Oh, we have
stay
to get
over."
back.
But like to this day, I look at these pictures, and they took a lot of pictures outside in the snow, and the pictures are absolutely stunning. They're
Yeah.
so pretty, and great couple. They did a New Orleans Mardi Gras theme wedding in the snow. It was
Oh,
great.
wow, wow.
It was so fun. What a fun group of people with a second line and everything. Oh God, it
Oh, I
was
love a second line. That's so much fun. I
Mhm.
always, when I think of the snow, there's always this one bride that, and the pictures are amazing. I know it was Russ Messerall took the photos for it, and we
Oh
were out at
wow.
the park, and it was snowing. And every time we look at those pictures, we go, "Wow, she was a trooper." Those pictures came out beautiful. I don't know how she did it, but she has some amazing pictures of her wedding day,
Uh,
her out in her wedding dress, no coat on, with her flowers, and the snow is just falling all around her. So, a couple of moments of freezing out there, a lifetime of beautiful photos.
there you go. That's our new winter motto. You're frozen now, but your pictures are forever.
Yeah. So we're going to leave you guys with this now. Just remember to follow the rules.
Yeah.
Nobody's going to look the other way just because it's your wedding. And
No.
when I say nobody, I mean like the town folks,
Right.
the enforcers, the
That's
park
right.
rangers, the beach rangers.
Yeah. Yeah. We want everybody to be happy, and we want to be able to go back. You know.
Yeah, yeah. So, and if
Cool.
you have something you really want, just ask us. We probably have a place you can do it. Uh,
That's right.
So happy planning and thanks for joining us today.
Nice to see you all. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.
This podcast is brought to you by New Jersey wedding officiant Andrea Pertel, owner of For This Joyous Occasion Officiating Services.
And Celia Milton, owner of NJ Vows Now, also New Jersey wedding officiating services. We're up in North Jersey, and Andrea is down in Central and South Jersey. So together we cover the whole state, don't we?
Yes, yes.